Hey cookies! Today we are making some easy, breezy, one pot lasagna. You can call it one skillet lasagna, but I'm using a Dutch oven, so we're gonna call it one pot lasagna. It makes lasagna easy and fuss free. So let me show you how to make it. Alright, let's add some oil into our pot. Again, I'm using a Dutch oven, but use anything that's oven safe because we're going to bake this stuff. Now I'm just going to add in some ground beef and some Italian sausage. Of course, you know I like to season every element of my dish, so I'm just adding some onion powder, garlic powder, accent, little salt, little pepper, you know, the usual. Check the description box for the link to the full recipe. You know I always tell you guys what I use. And while we're browning this meat, just make sure you kind of separate the meat so it won't be like huge chunks, and stir that seasoning in there well. And I didn't have to drain the fat off my meat. I was using ground chuck, but if you see excess fat, make sure you drain that after it's brown. Alright, now I'm going to add in some chopped onions and bell peppers. I love bell pepper in my sauce, so if you don't like it, just skip it, honey. But we're going to saute that for about 5 minutes until they're good and tender. Gotta have that garlic, so I'm adding that in, and of course just stir it for about 30 seconds. Don't burn it. You can absolutely make this quick and just buy your favorite jar of spaghetti sauce, but I really recommend, if you have the time, please try my sauce. This is so good. Here I'm adding some red wine. I'm using Merlot. You can use Pinot Noir as well. And now some crushed tomatoes. Some brown sugar for a little bit of sweetness. And a little bit of beef broth. Taste it using another spoon. Don't play with me. And adjust seasoning if you need to. Now we're going to bring this up to a simmer. Turn that heat at about a medium-low setting. And we're just going to simmer this for about 20-30 minutes. The longer the better, actually. But I know this is an easy dish, so I won't have you slaving over this for too long. The flavor will be in there. After about 30 minutes, go ahead and crush up approximately 8 to 10 lasagna noodles. I'm using regular noodles because I don't trust that no-bake stuff. I don't know, guys. If you like them, use that. But y'all know I'm a weirdo, so I just like to use the regular ones. And you just kind of break them up and push them into the sauce. Not all the way down to the bottom of the pot. We don't want them to stick. But just make sure they're covered well with that sauce. Alright, now just cover them, allow it to cook for about 10 to 15 minutes. Make sure you check it often so it doesn't stick. Now my lasagna is cooked through, it's soft and tender, and look how good that is. Now I'm just making sure I spread out the noodles evenly amongst the sauce. Make sure they're all turned over and flat. It's time to add the cheese. I have a mixture of aged cheddar and mozzarella. And yes, more cheese. I'll cut up some fresh mozzarella and I'm going to add that on top. Go ahead, girl. Let's just do it big because next week we're going to lie to ourselves and say we're going on a diet for the new year. So for now, we're going to cheese it. And the last cheese, got to have some Parmesan. So I'm grating on some fresh Parmesan. Can't forget the fresh basil. Tear up some leaves and sprinkle it on top. Have your oven preheated to about 400 degrees. Have it ready for us to melt this cheese. You can leave it on the stove and just, cover it with your lid. But I love to put my lasagna in the oven just to make it look like a real lasagna and not a lazy one, And after about 10 minutes in the oven and 5 minutes on broil, look what we have. This is it, our lazy one pot lasagna. Try it this way. You won't even want to go back to the old way, honey. If you like ricotta, you can add that in when you're putting the other cheese on. Don't stir it in, just dot it in the pan evenly and bake. Just look at this. And Father, we thank you. I'm not even about to play with y'all. Make this stuff, okay? Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you make it. The recipe link is in that description box. I have to eat, So we'll talk later, boo. Be blessed.